You may be seated. Court is now in session. You have been accused of lying to your darling. How do you plead? Not guilty. How can you be so certain? Darling knows I wouldn't lie. Welcome to Music Detectives. I'm Detective Tom. It's 1969. Conway already has his first #1 hit. Let's see if he can keep the momentum going.
Now it's time for a Music Detective's detailed inspection.
We'll start things off with a Conway Twitty fan quiz. What other profession did Conway almost pursue? Was it A, plumber, B, a minister, C, carpenter, or D, riverboat captain? Conway will answer this question later in the show. We got the commercial copy 45 on the left and the promotional copy on the right. Let's take a closer look at the more colorful one first. We'll shine some light on the dead wax for you. Some call it the runout, but I prefer dead wax. We got a lone one, so we know that this was pressed in New York. Gloversville, New York, that is. Well, Wayne Kemp is at it again, writing another Conway hit. This time with Red Lane and creating the song Darling, You Know I Wouldn't Lie. Kemp has certainly had his ups and downs, but here we find him creating yet another masterpiece. The string of success with Conway continues, starting with the image of me, next in line, and now Darling, You Know I Wouldn't Lie, and still another hit to talk about in a later show. To expand on his story a little further, we'll take a look at this article from Country Song Roundup. During his hospitalization from the car accident we covered in episode 18, Conway Twitty and Wayne became close friends. Conway gave Wayne much encouragement and hope for the future. Conway would also be important in getting Wayne signed to the Decca label in September of 1968. Let's not forget the other songwriter, Red Lane. Born Hollis Rudolph de Laughter. Okay, wow. There's gotta be a story behind that change. Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Did he swap Rudolph for red? He was colorblind. Did red reference that? Am I right? Nope. When he was in the Air Force, he played in clubs. His nickname was Red, and he began using Red Lane as a way to avoid his Air Force superiors finding out. Interesting. Red didn't have much of a singing career, but he was a heck of a songwriter. He also wrote Till I Get It Right, sung by Tammy Wynette, Country Girl, sung by Dottie West, and Miss Emily's Pitcher, John Colley. He was a guitarist for Merle Haggard in the 80s, and the Hag recorded 29 of his songs. Red got into the Nashville Songwriters Hall of Fame in 1993. Let's check the reviews to see what kind of song these two boys wrote. Billboard said to mark up another winner for Conway. Record World exclaimed, the lyric was compelling. Cashbox stated the song would soar up the charts. Now, speaking of soaring, I think we should book a flight on Twitty Bird Airlines to find out how well Darling did. I got my tickets, just waiting for the boarding call.
Now boarding Tweety Bird Airlines Flight 75105.
There it is. Let's go find out.
Number 35, December 28th, 68. Number 29, January 4th, 69. Number 24, January 11th. Number 28, January 18th. Number 18, January 25th. Lucky 13, February 1st. Number 10, February 8th. Number 8, February 15th. Number 6, February 22nd. Number 4, March 1st. Number 4 again, March 8th. Number 2, March 15th. Number 1, March 22nd.
That was a heck of a flight, all the way to number 1. Starting at number 66 on Record World, Darling, You Know I Wouldn't Lie's Final Destination would also be number 1 on March 22nd. It would climb a similar path on the Billboard charts as well. But for some reason, it would make it to number 2 on March 8th and stay there for 2 weeks before heading back down the chart. Conway had another number 1 hit. It just wasn't unanimous. Well, 2 out of 3 ain't bad. On the flip side, let's focus in on the Dead Wax. Good. We have Table in the Corner, written by Conway himself. And also notice that 4-leaf clover symbol for Gloversville, after the Matrix number. Turning our attention to the promotional copy, let's get a good shot of the Dead Wax numbers. And another lone one. Another is Gloversville Special. We got a handwritten 1968. And in separate videos, we'll also talk about how to remove the writing like this safely. So subscribe so you don't miss it. We also got this KXGI stamp on here. KXGI was an easy listening station in Fort Madison, Iowa. Today it's KBKB 107.1 The Bull, a country music station. Thanks to our friends at 560.com, we have some jingles from KXGI. So let's pull out the Twitty Bird radio and listen to a couple, eh?
This is KXGI, 1360 Fort Madison and Mount Pleasant.
USA! Pop, pop, papaya, pineapple, and mangoes. We love papaya, pineapple, and mangoes. But we'll give up papaya, pineapple, and mangoes.
As long as we can listen to KXGI.
That's right.
KXGI.
That's the one.
Fort Madison and Mount Pleasant. KXGI.
That's the best one.
How we love that wonderful KXGI.
There's a link in the description below to visit 560.com, so check it out. Moving on to the album, it would be a Billboard pick, and Cashbox would say it's bound for the charts. We have a white background and the title Darling, You Know I Wouldn't Lie in pink with green decor above and below. We have a familiar picture of Conway, more on that in a moment, and a picture of his wife Mickey. Below her, we have the list of songs. Back to the Conway picture. Looks real familiar, doesn't it? Well, it should. It's the same one from his previous album, Next in Line. Don't believe me? Let me prove it. In the center, we have the album, and to the right, we have a photo used from Next in Line. We'll slide the Next in Line image over the album, and we'll get a little closer. You can see it fits nicely. I'll fade the Next in Line image a bit so you can see how well it matches. You can see they basically cut his arm and shoulder out, almost making it look like he's sitting differently, but no. Proof that they are the same image. We turn the album over and we see a very simple back. The title, then our list of songs, with the times and the writers to one side, and a couple paragraphs about Conway on the other. The back may be plain, but again we have a mystery first brought up in episode 16. Let me show you the back of another copy I have. The top one we just looked at, and here's the bottom of the other one. Everything is the same except 998-D. The top copy is from Gloversville's pressing plant, and the bottom one is from Pinckneyville. Again, that's the only lead I got. This mark is only on the ones from Illinois. So if you have any ideas, let me know in the comments below. Looking at the record, we'll first get a shot of that Dead Wax. This is a Gloversville pressing. The first song is a Conway written tune, Sound of an Angel's Wings. Songs 2 and 6 we talked about when we were looking at the 45. The third song is the famous Tom T. Hall written tune, Ballad of $40. The song got to number 4 on the charts for Tom in late 1968. Song number 4, Papa Sing Me a Song, is written by Ellie White and Carlton Haney. Haney would also speak the recitation in the song. Now, while not making a big impact on this album, be on the lookout for for more information on these two guys as they garner more attention in the shows to come. Window Up Above, written and first recorded by George Jones. George would get the song up to number 2 on the charts in 1960. 15 years later, in 1975, Mickey Gilley would take it to number 1. Flipping over to side 2, we kick it off with 2 more Conway-written songs, Bad Man and Bad Girl. Song 3 is When the Grass Grows Over Me, yet another song taken up the charts by George Jones. The song is credited to John Chappell, Tammy Wynette's husband before George, though Tammy would later claim she wrote the song. The next song is the Hank Williams classic, Kalijah. Charlie Pride would also find success with this song and take a live version to number 3 in 1969. Loretta Lynn would also record the song in 1969 on her Squaw is on the Warpath album. Finishing up the album is Hungry Eyes. No, not the song from the Dirty Dancing soundtrack. This is the Merle Haggard classic. He would take it to number 1 in 1969. Well, that does it for the vinyl. Let's look at some magnetic tape options. First up, the stereo tape reel. The cover matches the record, nothing different, except the deck of stereo tape on top. This reel plays at 3 3/4 inches per second, and the catalog number is ST725105. The back has everything the record did, except it's arranged better and takes up all the space. Inside, we have our clear plastic stereo reel with white and pink label. We can see the whole tape when we flip this over, and the original tab that once held the tape. Last, we have the 8-track. Now, this 8-track certainly has seen better days, but I don't see it around very often, so I'm glad I at least have something to show you, even if it isn't in the best shape. I could fix that. Let me know your comments. Would you want me to restore it? Do you think it's better left alone? Let me know in the comments below. We can see the biggest difference from the record is that the songs are gone. We have our Decca catalog number, 65105. We see that it has a yellow label, okay, mustard, from all that aging, and the green arrow logo. This is a club-issued 8-track. And on the back, we have the song list. That's also starting to peel off. I can scrape off this old label and take the 8-track apart, get the plastic housing looking white again, and then slap on a freshly printed new label. Want to see that happen? You gotta let me know in the comments below if you do. Well, let's finish this show up with our Conway Twitty fan quiz. What other profession did Conway almost pursue? Well, I'll let him tell you.
Seemed to me I heard somewhere one time you were interested in becoming a minister.
Yeah, I did preach at youth revivals and things like that for about 2 years when I was 15, 16 years old.
That's it for this episode. If you haven't done so, subscribe. Also, check us out on Instagram and Twitter. Just search for Music Detectives Show.